What's up YouTube? Capital G here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, duelists around the world of all ages. Even if you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, and maybe you never even played Yu-Gi-Oh, if you are somehow, by some way, hearing or seeing this video, I have one message for you, and that is, it's time to stop. Guys, it's time to stop. We need to put an end to this because this is absolute madness. It's ludicrous. It's unbelievable. And honestly, we need to stop this, guys, before we end up with a catastrophic event and, we end up having irreversible damage to the integrity and to the overall image of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Now, what exactly am I talking about, and what is this catastrophe that could possibly end up happening in just a few days? So if you guys remember, and this is a follow-up video to a video I posted a couple of days ago. I talked about how Konami had just announced that they were going to be doing another round of the another round of the archetype voting. This time this was going to be obviously the 2020 edition. They kind of shrunk the size. If you guys remember last year, the voting was a riveting success, which is obviously why we have the voting this year. Last year we had 20 archetypes to vote on, and one of those archetypes would be chosen to get their own structure deck. Now, I believe that it was so successful, Konami said, damn, we didn't expect these type of numbers and we didn't expect the Yu-Gi-Oh community to be this fired up about it. They decided to just go ahead and make like 3 of them into structure decks instead of 1, and they even took some of the other archetypes like Jinzo, and they threw them into, other different sets. Like, Esperoba is getting a bunch of Jinzo support in the Legendary Duelist. I do not believe that that would have happened if Jinzo was just, an archetype that would have ended up being in like the very bottom of the barrel. If Jinzo didn't receive any votes, I don't think it would have gotten any, support in Legendary Duelist. But obviously, Konami felt very confident that this was going to be a success, and so far, it has been a success. But guys, the first preliminary results are out and I can't even believe them. I looked at this and I was just like, what is going on? Is this real life? Like, how did we get here? I'm going to show you guys the results, and I think that most of you will probably come to the conclusion that I have come to, and that is the Yu-Gi-Oh community is just trolling. Like, you guys are actually out here trolling when this is supposed to be a serious voting poll. We need to uphold the integrity of the voting, guys, and you guys are out here trolling. So I'm going to show you guys the preliminary results. Now, keep in mind, these polls are still open for another about 72 hours. So we can fix this madness. We can reverse the damage that is going to be done. Now, first, and this is not a surprise, we have Cyber Style. This was played by, well, we kind of know a little more as to what Cyber Style means, because to me, the term Cyber Style is a little up to interpretation. I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, is that Cyber Dragons? Is it Cyber Dark? Could that mean Cyber Angels for, Alexis or Asuka from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? Cyber is kind of just a very generic term in Yu-Gi-Oh! But Cyber Style is winning. That's really not a surprise to me. I said that I was going to vote for Cyber Style, but number 2, guys, is where we have a problem, and this is where the whole poll just fell off a cliff for me. It lost all of its validation and all meaning. Ice Barrier is number 2 in the voting. How did we let this happen? How did we let this, on what planet do people want Ice Barriers to get a structure deck? Now, I said in my first video, I believe Ice Barrier is beyond saving. I don't think Konami can even save that archetype. I think it's arguably the worst archetype in history. Not talking about the Synchro monsters. I've already admitted the Synchros and Ice Barriers are all broken. Every single one of them. If I'm not mistaken, every single Ice Barrier Synchro monster has ended up on the Forbidden and Limited list. Trishula was banned. Brionic was banned for years. They had to errata that thing. DeLorean, I believe, is still at limited status right this second and actually has ridiculous plays in the Adamancipator deck. And then Gungnir, which I believe was actually limited at one point. This may have been during 5Ds or Zexal, but at one point I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, that Gungnir was on the FNL list. And for some reason, guys, Ice Barrier is actually in a position right now where it is in seconds. And the thing is, some people might say, oh Cap, well, it's not even that big of a deal, it's not first. You guys have to remember, as I said in the last video, the second place deck is going to get a structure deck too. We are literally 3 days away from Ice Barrier getting a structure deck, guys. We cannot let this happen. Like, we cannot in good conscience let this happen, because I feel like memes and trolling has gotten out of hand. Look, I'm all for a good troll, I'm all for memes, but this is just, we're taking it too far. Now, we also see Gusto coming in at 3rd place. I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as it's not Ice Barriers. We see Trickstars in 4th, Karibo, Morphotronics, and then we have some of the ones that are lagging behind. That would be Star Seraph, Kaijus, Tour Guide. I thought more people would be interested in Tour Guide, because that was going to be my second choice behind Cyber Style. And then we have SHS, Super Heavy Samurai. That was not surprising at all, that it would be in the the bottom position, that it would be basically lagging behind all the others. I really didn't think that SHS had that much of a chance. I mean, even the anime character, like, I don't think Gongetsugu is really beloved by many, I mean, he's a fine character, but I just don't think he's that popular. Now look, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, guys. I am going to vote right here in this video, because Ice Barriers winning is a tragedy. Ice Barriers, see, the thing is, you know what? Forget it. I was going to say I'm going to vote for Cyber Style, but they're already winning, so that doesn't bring down Ice Barriers. I am going so far to try to bring down Ice Barriers. I don't know why this isn't loading. I clicked on Cyber Style. Here it is. I'm going so far to try to bring down Ice Barriers. I have to vote something below it. And as you guys can see, when it comes to Cyber Style, it shows Cyber Dart Dragon and Cyber End Dragon, which I guess this just means anything that Zane played in Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is up for grabs, because he played both of these decks in Season 3. And his final duel on the show, or his duel versus Yubel, he went back to Cyber Dragons, but for most of Season 3, he played Cyber Dark. So I'm guessing basically anything that Zane played in that season is eligible. I would really like to see a Cyber Dark structure deck. If Konami could make that meta, that would be insanely hyped to me. So guys, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna vote right. Okay, I'm like, I clicked on Tour Guide. All right, I can't read Japanese, so I don't know which one of these means to vote. Okay, it's not that one. Clearly, it's not the one on the left. Let's click the one on the right. And did it cast my votes? Okay, well, the page refreshed, so I'm hoping that it cast my votes. Guys, you have to, okay, I think this is telling me, because this wasn't here before, I think it's telling me that I already voted in the last poll. Guys, you have to understand, this is only gonna be up for the next few days, so you have to vote now. And you do, when you click on the link in the description below, you have to change the page to the Japanese, which is, I believe, the first, usually, because it'll take you to the English card database, and it's the first little tab. It's like in Japanese. The Japanese and the Chinese, it was kind of hard for me to distinguish those. And then you go to this page, it'll take you to this page, which is the Japanese database, and it'll show collection pack, and then it will go right here to the 10 archetype voting. And you click that, and then that page should pop up. It should look just like this, and then you guys should be able to vote. And obviously, it's the little box on the left that allows you to vote. But come on, guys, we can't be out here letting memes destroy this prestigious award, and we cannot let Ice Barriers get a structure deck, because if you guys don't chip in and help, we are basically 3 days away from Ice Barriers getting a structure deck, and I'm not sure I want to live in that world where we just have Ice Barriers trying to become meta. Anyways, whatever you guys think, you leave that in the comment section below. If you already voted, what did you vote for? How do you feel about the preliminary results? Do you think that Ice Barriers are winning because of the memes? And are you now going to vote for Ice Barriers because you feel emboldened and you just want to trigger me and you just want Ice Barriers to win just because of the you-know-what show? Because I feel like, honestly, people are voting for the memes now. I feel like people want Cyber Dragons and Cyber Darks to win because they're popular. And then people are like, let's just have some memes in here too. Let's give it the Ice Barriers, the worst of the archetypes. You guys leave that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And actually, let me just show you guys for anyone who might get lost. When you click on the card database, usually it'll take you to like the English page, which is kind of like the default if you live in North America and you're online and you have a registered, Konami name on here. But you do have to go to the Japanese page. If you go to this one on the bottom, that is actually for like the Chinese OCG, but you don't want to go there. You want to go for the Japanese page, and it's kind of weird. Like this wasn't working. This wasn't allowing me to vote in certain browsers. Opera's the browser that I usually use, but I loaded up Microsoft Edge and then it did work. So if for some reason your browser isn't allowing you to like, it just keeps telling you that there is no poll or that there are no polls open at this time, try it in a different browser. You may even have to go download, something like Microsoft Edge or something like that just to vote. But you guys did see me do it in video, like the voting is actually open.